Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel, Tara Talks Books, where we talk everything bookish. So today I'm going to be doing the historical romance reader tag. I was tagged by April over at Happily Ever April, and the original tag creator is Jess from Peace Love Books. I will leave all their information in the description box below. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first question is, what was your first historical romance read? It was Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I know this one is like a class difference romance. That's about all I remember about it. It wasn't my favorite one. I actually like the second one in the series much better. But it did kind of bring me into the historical romance genre, which obviously I ended up enjoying and continue to read. Question number 2 is, what was the last historical romance you read? That one is Wicked in His Arms by Stacey Reed. This is part of the Wedded in Scandal series. It's number 2. This one follows Lady Olivia Sherwood, and she kind of has a scandal in her past, but it's more towards her family versus her. But it follows her around, which kind of prevents her from making a match. She's also considered a bit unconventional for like that time period. So she is sent to the Earl of Blade's mother to like get lessons basically so that she can get married. The Earl of Blade is Tobias Walcott, and he is there at the house while she's obviously getting these lessons. And so they meet. So they throw a house party, and they end up actually, her and Tobias end up in a closet together for reasons. And then, of course, they are caught, which means they have to get married, obviously, because she's ruined. So it goes from there. This was so good. I do enjoy Stacey Reed. She's one of my favorite historical romance authors. Number 3 is, who is an underrated historical romance author you wish more people would read? I would say an underrated author is probably Courtney Milan. I don't hear her talked a lot about on BookTube. At least recently, a few years back, she was like quite popular, but I noticed it kind of died off. But I really enjoy like her books. I loved The Heiress Effect by her, and I also enjoyed The Duchess War. So I feel like more people should read from her. She does unique heroines, and I really enjoy that aspect of her books. Question 4 is, who is a historical romance author you haven't read yet but need to? Actually, I have quite a few authors that I want to read from, but one that I have quite a few books on my shelves is Joanna Lindsey, as well as Eloisa James. So those are the two that I can think of that I have quite a few of their books already on my shelves that I would like to read from. Question 5 is, what is a historical romance book you would recommend to people who are new to the genre? Honestly, I feel like a good one would be An Earl to Remember by Stacey Reed. This is loosely based off the movie Overboard, so it has amnesia. It's a class difference one. It's a lot of fun. It has swoon-worthy moments. It has some humor, and it can be read as a standalone. So I really think this is a good one to start off with, and I absolutely love Stacey Reed's writing, so I feel like this is a good one. Question number 6 is, what is your favorite historical romance of all time? And that is super difficult to choose. I think I actually have two. The first I would say is Devil in Winter by Lisa Kleypas. I really just liked Evie as a character, and I really loved Sebastian St. Vincent because he really just has to like prove himself because of what happened in the previous book. And I really enjoyed their banter and their love story, so I thought that was really cute, and I loved Devil in Winter so much. The other one is actually another Stacey Reed, and this one is Her Wicked Marquess, and this is the second one in the Sinful Wallflower series, but I feel like they could technically be read as standalones. You do miss a little bit of like the friendships because it's a group of wallflowers, but you don't miss too much. So I feel like, again, it can be read as a standalone, but I read this series in order. But this one is so good. I really just love their meet cute. I love that she kind of takes things into her like own hands as a heroine. Marianne is the main character, and she's going to be wed to like a much older like man, and she doesn't want that for her life. He's like old enough to be her dad, and she's like, her parents just want her to get married, and they are kind of like forcing her hand. So to create a scandal, she ends up seeing Nicholas St. Ives, who is the Marquess of Rothbury, coming out the window of at like a house party, and she ends up saying it's her window so that can create scandal, and so like the wedding won't go through because she's been ruined. And it goes from there. I just love their banter. I love the side plot in this one. It's just so fun and emotional and just amazing. Question number 7 is, do you prefer new or old school historical romance? And honestly, I don't really have a preference. I just kind of like them both for different reasons. I definitely think that you need to know going into older historical romances that there's going to be like more triggers, because there is a lot of like non-consent or dubious consent in those types of books. But I enjoy reading both. I definitely think I've read new historical romance more than I've read old school historical romance, but I'm not opposed to reading old school historical romance. Question number 8 is, what are your favorite tropes? And I definitely love marriage of convenience, especially if they're like kind of like forced to be married because of like some sort of scandal. That's always fun to read because there's a little bit of hate to love in that sometimes, or like the forced proximity of it. I also do really enjoy class difference as well. So those are my two like main historical romance tropes that I really love. Question number 9 is, what are your favorite historical romance settings? And I definitely love a masquerade ball. That is always fun, especially when there's some sort of like secret identity involved. I always think that's great. Question number 10 is, what is the oldest historical romance you own? So it looks like the oldest book I have is by Virginia Henley, and this one is The Raven and the Rose, which looks really pretty. I have not read this one, but it has a gorgeous cover. So it says, her beauty was the spark, his passion was the fire. So, seems fun. Question number 11 is, what is your favorite historical romance stepback that you own? That one comes from Judith McNaught, Something Wonderful. And this one is just such a gorgeous 2-page stepback. I just love it. It's just one of my favorites. It's just stunning. Question number 12 is, what are some historical romance releases that you are excited for? The first one is Hot Earl Summer by Erica Ridley. I'm actually currently in the middle of reading this e-arc over on NetGalley, and I really have been enjoying it. So this is my first full-length novel by Erica Ridley. I have read one of hers in an anthology, so this is my first full-length novel by her, and I'm enjoying it so far. And so that one comes out in August. It's a lot of fun, very like adventure filled with a fun like female character, and then even the male main character, he's like into like inventions, which is I think a really cool aspect in a historical romance novel. So this so far has been a lot of fun to read. Another one that I just found out about is Taken by His Sword by Florence A. Bliss. This is a new like author. I think this is like her first book. And this one I'm excited to get to. I really want to try it. And then Stacey Reed put out a teaser on her Instagram of A Rogue in the Making, which I'm hoping is part of the Wallflowers series, the next one, number 4 in it. I hope so. There are more Wallflowers in that series, so I definitely want to read more from it. So hopefully that one will be coming out. She did not give a date. She just left a teaser. So I will read that one when it comes out. Question number 13 is, what creators do you follow for historical romance recommendations? I follow Christy from Christy Reads a Lot. And then I also follow B over at Mama Needs to Read Romance. I follow Crystal from Books Forever After. So those are just the 3 that I follow. I feel like also Ava from Ava's Romance Reads has quite a few that she puts on her channel. So those are all that I can think of that I follow for like historical romance recommendations. So that was the tag. Let me know what your favorite historical romance is in the comments below. If you don't feel like commenting anything, go ahead and leave like a high heel or a glass slipper or something like that in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you'd like to. Bye.